For example, let us take, I have a pet animal, dog. I only call it by name. I have given it a name and I call by that name. But it is not aware of anything at all. It is only a sound for which it reacts. And what is that animal? What is that dog? It does not know itself as a dog. Its body, it lives as that body. With the instincts naturally that express in that body, through that body, the dog is nothing but it instinctual responses. Because there is nothing in to probe. There is no mind that looks within. There is no mind that will act originally away from its, apart from its own instincts also. You might have noticed the dogs, maximum they will see 10 feet, 15 feet only. Sniffing it does. These are all its instinctual capacities. And it is caught in that only. It is living as the body, procreating, loyalty. It is not simply loyalty. Its mind identifies with the people it is familiar with, and for strangers immediately it barks. There is no mind in the dog to look at the sky or see objectively other things also. Its software, its mind works like a programmed, preconditioned instincts. Hunger, thirst, procreation, sleep, loyal to the owners of it, to the people familiar with, to the environment familiar with. This is the boundary. Nothing more than that. Everything is predetermined reactions. Think of an elephant also. Only the elephants which are in the wild, they also are conditioned. They behave in the routine reactionary way and live their lives as bodies, those physical bodies. A tamed elephant which is brought to the city and reared. Think of that animal, that elephant. A human mind which is able to penetrate and see its working and brings that gigantic animal under his power of the intellect. Do we not do this? Everything comes under the control, all the five elements. The probe, the knowing, objectively knowing things through scientific discoveries. And bring it into practical applications. The human mind is the most excellent medium, software available here. So, in this manifestation, what is manifestation? Again, only it exists in the waking state. What is a manifestation? The whole cosmos, stars, sun, the planets, the five elements, rivers, oceans, mountains, and all the animal kingdom, the nature, and the human beings, and our most trivial psychological things in us. This is what is existence. This is what is manifestation for a human mind, human consciousness. Where does it exist? It exists, it is available with that medium that is expressing, that is a human body, only in the waking state. That means what? The whole manifestation, including the creations of God, the religions, the high things, the holy things, and the low things, and everything is the creation of the waking state. The waking state center. What is that waking state center? The center that which identifies itself as that location, that organism, that body, that physical body. That physical body. What else is that? So the whole manifestation, if we speak from the point of view of manifestation, one physical organism is also included. The manifestation may be existing since millennia, but for whom it exists? When a dog does not know its own existence, what is the kind of existence it undergoes? Imprinted, already preconditioned tendencies as that physical body, and the expression of it is what is called that dog, that animal. Its whole span of life is only that. What else is there? This is what is existence, this is what is manifestation. Be it an atom or a star. Who is interested in all these things? Only a mind which can go both ways, internally as well as externally. Those who have gone internally, they are called as seers. They saw something. They have seen something which is the reality. And these are all fiction, unreal. That also they have seen. They have seen. What is wisdom? Seeing the false as the false, and something which transcends all this duality and exists authentically, originally, unchangeably, timelessly. Doesn't have one particular place as location. Such an immensity, such a vastness, something like how we perceive this body with five senses and karmendriyas and all this manifestation, how we concretely see this, all these physical things. They saw the truth. They saw the truth in the same way. That is why, what is actually realization? According to their words, it is an obvious fact. The deep sleep state is not a no-thing state. It is not nothingness at all. It is just like how within a seed The whole of the past trees are the essence of the complete millennia in which crores and crores of trees existed. Innumerable trees existed. This seed is the essence of it, and that which are going to arise in the infinite future, that is also, everything is meeting locationally as a seed. It contains everything. That is what they saw, and they also saw the triviality, the futility, the unrealness of this separate center which is arising in every waking state with its registered conditionings and behaves here and again disappears in deep sleep, and one fine day leave away everything. This particular station, as if a train leaves this station and goes to the next station, leaving here this body to dust and everything. It continues if things are not seen through. During waking state, the same registered conditionings, if a center exists, it exists as conditionings only. Assume a kid is born, a girl child is born. What are all the roles born with the girl child? The moment after, say, 20 years or some years, she gets married, a wife is born. A mother, if she gets children, a mother is born. If for the child, girl child, elders are there, elder sisters are available, elder brothers are available, younger are there, younger brothers are available, younger, she becomes elder to them, and the child becomes younger to the elders, and she becomes the daughter. What not? If she is going to work, she becomes an employee. So just like the names are irrelevant, the moment a form originates, karmic activities, a bunch of, this is what they say in this verse also. Bhagavan has said, வினை முதல் யாரென்று வினவி தனை அறிய கர்த்தத்துவம் போய் கரும மூன்றும் கழலும் இசேஸ். Three types of karmic activities. Three types of karmic activities. The one which contains everything is called sanchita. Sanchita means that which is residual, balance. Residual, it is not even balance. It is there. The moment one is born, it is born because of the karmic activities that are held within it, remain in it. They remain as causes that need expression through this form, and this form is mandatory. A particular deed has to be only done by that entity. A particular benefit, a result, good result or bad result, achieving or not achieving, that should happen through that entity to that entity. Why? Because it has that activity, the cause has identified itself. Cause was an effect of some other cause. So while doing an activity as a center with a physiological organism, one carries out all the activities. So the very way in which one approaches the activity is in the wrong direction. Identification brings all problems. It brings all problems. That is why you cut that in root where it arises. Know it. Know it. Cutting is not, we are trying to become dispassionate. We are trying to become detached. We are not practicing non-attachment. Know for sure. Know for sure. Where one goes away in deep sleep, is what Bhagavan says. So now, as the form has arisen, the whole bunch of karmic activities also are lying underneath as causes. Moment to moment, it comes out through that form. That which comes out moment to moment is called prarabdha. The first whole bunch is called sanchita. At any moment, this sanchita is available for those who identify themselves as that physical organism. It exists only for those. Sanchita is always there. And out of sanchita, every moment is met. The complete storehouse, the bunch of karmas as causes that are lying beneath, moment to moment through that form, because identifications are also there. What are identifications? The experiencers. The experiencers are there. Those experiencers come out of it as expressions. This is what is called as prarabdha karma, that which is about to begin and end. Pra-aptam. The next karma, the next karma, the next moment, the next moment, the next moment. Like that, a series of moments. What is a straight line made up of? Dots. Same way, how is the ego made up of? Through these karmic actions, individuals are existing in one. One individual is an influencer. One experiencer in one is an influence. He pushes or retracts one to do or not to do, to seek this and to avoid that. Both through these reactions of both, whether for or against, they get deposited in one as an experiencer. If one realizes this fact, immediately he is relieved. This is what Bhagavan has said here. What is actually this Naishkamiya karma, dispassionate action? What does it do? See, knowing this, that where was I in my deep sleep? What was that nature? What was the nature of that deep sleep? Where did I go? Who existed there? Or in whom did I exist? Or where did I exist in my deep sleep? It is not psychologically answerable during questionable nor answerable during waking state. But still, that fact is a fact. One should see it as a fact first. Is it not a fact? Whether I am able to draw a conclusion out of it or not able to comprehend at all, It's a fact. I lived in my deep sleep. I am relaxed after waking up. I am fully relaxed. I am happy, rejuvenated. Nothing was there. No residue of myself existed there. But still I existed. I lived through that state. Though uncomprehendable, ununderstandable, still I existed. It is not falling within the realm of my intellectual processing. That's why truth immediately, it never falls within the range of our intellectualization. We cannot intellectualize truth. That is why thoughts will never take one to truth. Thoughts will not lead one to truth. A holistic understanding of all the three states put together, and it requires constant investigation throughout waking state. The moment I say the word investigation, do not get frightened, sir. Simple seeing without a seer. Observing without an observer is true observation, pure observation. Observing without an observer is a pure observation. Real seeing, authentic living. That is what has to be practiced during our waking state also. A doer-less action. A doer-less action has to be done. Here, I have gone through Lord Krishna's one sloka from Bhagavad Gita. It is in the Karma Yoga chapter. It is a beautiful sloka. That is what I have written it here on the board. What is the sloka is? It comes in the third chapter, Karma Yoga, verse number 22. Name parthaasthi. Name parthaasthi karthavyam. Thrishu lokeshu kinchana. nanavaaptamavaapthavyam. Varha cha karmani. Na nanavaaptam avaaptavyam. Varha cha karmani. Name parthaasthi karthavyam. Thrishu lokeshu kinchana. nanavaaptamavaapthavyam. Varha cha karmani. Here is given like this. This is the meaning of it. What one ultimately has to do, the ultimate practice, no. Do not have any influence while you perform an activity. If you become a father while doing some help or activity for your children, this role brings in all the bias in oneself. All the roles confuse every one of us. The roles confuse every one of us. Best way of performing is simply live entity-less. Approach every moment as it arises, without yourself having an influence nor any orientation how to perform, and bringing into memory or thinking about the past how this particular man whom I met earlier last week, he behaved in a bad way. With the same registrations, do not even approach now. If one approaches every moment of one's waking state without a center, without any, what does it mean by without a center? No conditionings, no past remembrances, no moment to moment influences, nothing in one. While doing also, there is no self-centered activity, there is no doer, and all the more not thinking about the result of it. If this is practiced at the very beginning of the work, this is practiced at the very beginning of the activity, as if it is done, that's all. This being is given with this activity. Be it an activity you carry out for your son or daughter or mother or for a stranger. Can one live like this? Certainly. It's only by practice. Practice brings in realization also. That is what they say. By indulging in activity without a center, a doer-less action, without a separate center doing it, what happens to that one's intellect? At the end of it, by and by, the center dissolves. One becomes naturally non-attached, dispassionate. It doesn't mean he runs away from responsibilities or duties or whatever the activities. He does not have a motive behind propelling him to do. Because the whole waking state is a conditioned reaction that arises. Whole waking state arises from deep sleep. Which is the origin of waking state? You take it as the whole of the waking state, not an individual thought. Even an individual thought, from where does it arise? A moment ago, that thought was not there, but that was lying that was attached in an egocentric center. It was attached in an egocentricity. Everything ultimately, finally closes with the current, isn't it? In the computer, when we shut down the programs reverts back to its source. Because the current is not supplied now. The moment the computer is shut down, that which was displayed in the monitor, the programs resolve themselves and get into the chip, and there being no current running in it, simply it goes to the original state of simply a metal pieces without an electricity in it, without a program getting displayed through it. And what happens even to that when the power itself is switched off? Everything with the power, the whole hardware with the inbuilt software, everything goes to rest. A pause period. A pause period. So everything comes out of the electricity. Again, that the source of electricity, if you see, it may be from thermal, or it may be from water, from a dam, hydroelectric power, or any kind of power that is reaching our home, my computer, and again that source that is belonging to all the 5 elements. Everything is coming in cycles. That which is residing beneath in deep sleep, an atheist or a theist, a believer or a non-believer, in some existence, an existence which is beyond us, all these things, and the existence which we call it as truth. A believer in that or a non-believer of that. That package of thoughts, that bunch of thoughts, as a state called waking state, has to arise from deep sleep. Is it nothingness? Is the deep sleep a state of nothingness? How can things arise from nothingness? They exist in a different state, in a different level. This is what here he has given. That is how we also need to pursue our activities in our waking state without a center. Bhagavan, the Lord himself says like this: I have nothing to do in the three worlds of existence. Actually, the words he has used is three worlds, simply three worlds. Karthavyam, thrishu, lokeshu, kinchana. Thrishu, lokeshu means three worlds, three kinds of, actually it means three kinds of existence. We undergo three kinds of existence. In one state, nothing remains. In another state, something magically produced, dream state, out of nothing, as if no physical world is needed, no physical organism is needed. The ego itself, in ego the world also is there, and one experiences different environments. He undergoes experience with a world, a physical world in it. So this is like a magic, it is happening. And there is another state which is grossly available with all the manifestation, the sun, stars, universe, oceans, mountains and everything. And that dilutes all the more. Comparing all these three states, which can be the original, very near to truth, true state, very near to truth, it can only be deep sleep. That can be the original nature of truth. Original nature of truth, the truth upon which this grossified states appear and disappear. These two states are visitors. The dream state and the waking state, the knowing states, put together they are called, are visitors. They are not the substratum. They are not the substratum. They cannot be the substratum. Because nothing remains here. Even our thoughts are momentary. Our emotions are momentary. Our identifications are momentary. All the feelings, anger, lust, jealousy, wanting, not wanting, frustration, seeking, holy, unholy, good, bad, all these things are all fleeting emotions, fleeting feelings. They have nothing original, truthful of their own. This is what Lord himself says. I have nothing to do in the three worlds of existence. I have attained that needs to be attained. I have given it in bracket. The moment when Lord Krishna has given this verse in Bhagavad Gita. When Lord uses I, actually what does it mean? When Lord uses I, me, by me and all these words, throughout Bhagavad Gita, if we go through all the verses, he speaks from as if the Lord Krishna speaks, as a psychosomatic organism speaks. But whereas what actually speaks through him, when he says I, the totality speaks, the truth speaks. What is truth? That which is beyond all these three states, that cannot be comprehended by thoughts, that cannot be held by thoughts. That is the truth. When Lord says I, the totality, the truth itself speaks. Because in truth there are no states, there is no other, there is no another, there is no space exists away from it. There is no time to reach that space, a different location away from it. It is everything, including our all these three states. They are in it. That is why for a jnani, for a realized soul, because he is omniscience itself, he is omnipotence itself. What is omniscience? Sarvajnatvam. That is what they say in Sanskrit. Knowing everything. That is all at-one-ment. We can say at-one-ment. In that one speck of space, everything is known. Everything is present. Everything is potentially there. That is why this word is used, omniscience, omnipotence, omnipresence. That is that state that every one of us also undergo. We undergo that supreme state. It is not undergoing. That is our essential nature. This one is unreal. Only that shift has to take place. That shift, that paradigm shift, that this is not me, that has to take place in one. Here he says, I am left with nothing else to attain. Because he is the Sarvajnatvam itself. He is the supreme. He is that source. He is that one. The moment he, I said, that alone is Aham Brahmasmi. Tattvamasi, you are that. I am that. Prajnanam Brahmam. This very consciousness is Brahmam. I am Atma Brahmam. This psychosomatic system with its manifestation is Brahmam. These are all Veda Mahavakyas. This is how Lord says here. I am left with nothing else to attain, but still without a separate doer in me, I act incessantly. Still I act. That is what, it is quite easy. Just get rid of all this waking state holdings as if I am this. Neither attach with this, nor distance with this. Let us not attach with this, nor distance ourselves from it. Because we cannot do anything at all. Neither one can take it up, nor one can deny or reject these things. It has come into play. How a dog has come into existence, no choice here at all. It is confined in that body. Its mind is confined as that body and lives as that body and goes away. The same way, fundamentally, we are left with no choice. We have no choice at all here. That's why, as the waking state unfolds to one, let him undergo the activities without a center. That is essentially the nature of one. Everything here. Let us also follow that. With this, we will stop. We will meet in our next satsang.